In 1928, during the height of the Roaring Twenties, a young man walked into Florence Scovel Shinn's consultation room with a burning question. How can I earn my first $10,000? In those days, $10,000 was equivalent to nearly $180,000 today, a life-changing sum that represented true financial independence for most Americans. Florence looked at this eager young man and said something that would revolutionize how we think about earning money. The secret isn't in working harder or finding better opportunities. The secret is in aligning your earning activities with divine law. She handed him a piece of paper containing what she called the divine earning formula, a specific sequence of spiritual principles combined with practical actions that, when followed precisely, would magnetize exactly $10,000 to him within 90 days. The young man was skeptical. You mean I don't need to work multiple jobs or start a risky business? Florence smiled. You'll work, but you'll work in harmony with universal law instead of against it. Your efforts will be multiplied by invisible forces, and opportunities will appear that you never could have created through human effort alone. That young man followed Florence's formula exactly. Within 87 days, he had earned his first $10,000, not through luck or inheritance, but through a combination of inspired action and spiritual law that created opportunities where none had existed before. What's remarkable is that Florence used this same formula to help over 200 of her students earn their first $10,000 during the 1920s and 1930s, even during the Great Depression, when most people were losing everything. Today, I'm going to share Florence's exact earning formula with you, the same one that created financial breakthroughs for hundreds of her students, adapted for our modern economy, but based on the same eternal principles. If you're ready to earn your first $10,000 using these proven spiritual and practical principles, type "I'm ready to earn" in the comments below. Before I reveal this earning formula, it's crucial you understand that Florence Scovel Shinn wasn't just a spiritual teacher. She was a practical mystic who understood both the invisible laws of prosperity and the visible world of business and money. Born in 1871, Florence was raised in a family of entrepreneurs and innovators. Her father was a successful businessman, and she was exposed to the mechanics of wealth creation from an early age. But unlike conventional business advisors, Florence discovered that sustainable wealth comes from aligning practical action with spiritual principle. What made Florence unique was her ability to bridge the mystical and the practical. While other spiritual teachers focused only on consciousness and visualization, Florence taught her students specific, actionable steps that worked in harmony with universal law. Her approach was revolutionary. Instead of choosing between spiritual practice or practical action, she showed how to use spiritual principles to make practical actions exponentially more effective. During the 1920s boom, Florence's students weren't just riding the wave of economic prosperity, they were creating wealth through methods that continued to work, even when the economy collapsed in 1929. While others lost fortunes overnight, her students maintained and even increased their wealth because they were operating from spiritual law rather than market speculation. Florence understood something that modern success coaches are just beginning to grasp. There are invisible laws that govern money, and earning that, when properly applied, make financial success not just possible, but inevitable. Her book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, introduced these principles to the world, but her most powerful earning strategies were reserved for private consultation clients who paid premium fees for her specialized knowledge. The formula I'm sharing with you today combines Florence's deepest spiritual insights with practical earning strategies that have been proven to work in any economic climate, in any era, for anyone willing to apply them consistently. Before we dive into Florence's earning formula, let's be honest about why you haven't earned your first $10,000 yet. The reason isn't what most people think. It's not because you're lazy, unlucky, or lack opportunity. It's not because the economy is bad or because rich people keep all the money. The real reason is much more subtle and much more fixable. You've been trying to earn money while violating the spiritual laws that govern wealth creation. Every time you violate these laws, you create resistance that makes earning harder rather than easier. Here are the most common earning violations that keep people stuck below the $10,000 threshold. Violation #1, earning from fear instead of faith. Most people try to earn money because they're afraid of not having enough. This fear-based motivation actually repels money because fear vibrates at the frequency of lack, not abundance. When you work from fear, you attract circumstances that justify more fear. Violation #2. Competing instead of creating. The traditional approach to earning is competitive, finding ways to take market share from others or working harder than competitors. Florence taught that true earning comes from creation, not competition. When you create new value, money flows to you without taking anything from anyone else. Violation #3. Trading time for money. Most people believe they must trade their time directly for money, work more hours to earn more dollars. This creates an earnings ceiling because there are only 24 hours in a day. Florence taught her students to earn through value creation rather than time trading. Violation #4. Waiting for permission. Many people wait for employers, investors, or economic conditions to give them permission to earn more and more. Florence taught that earning is a divine right that requires no external permission, only internal alignment with prosperity consciousness. Violation #5. Focusing on what you don't want. When people think about money, they usually focus on what they lack. I don't have enough. I can't afford this. Money is tight. This focus creates more lack. Florence taught that true earning comes from focusing exclusively on what you want to create. Look at your own earning history. Haven't you worked harder and harder while your income stayed relatively flat? Haven't you tried multiple strategies that seemed promising but produced disappointing results? Haven't you felt like there's some invisible ceiling preventing you from reaching that crucial $10,000 milestone? This ends today. Florence's earning formula works because it aligns your earning activities with universal law instead of violating it. Now for the revelation you've been waiting for. Florence Scovel Shinn's exact formula for earning your first $10,000. This isn't vague manifestation theory or generic business advice. This is a precise system that combines spiritual alignment with practical action to create what Florence called magnetic earning power, the ability to attract money through your activities rather than chasing it. Florence's divine earning formula has 5 key components, each building upon the previous one. Component 1, the perfect right activity discovery. Florence taught that every person has a perfect right activity, a way of serving others that aligns perfectly with their natural gifts and creates maximum value. Your first step is identifying this activity. Component 2, the divine demand creation. Once you know your perfect right activity, you must create what Florence called divine demand, a spiritual magnetism that draws people to seek your service or product. Component 3, the fearless faith action. With demand created, you take specific practical actions, but from a consciousness of faith rather than fear. These actions are guided by intuition rather than conventional business logic. Component 4, the circulation multiplication. As money begins to flow, you multiply it through what Florence called sacred circulation, specific ways of handling money that keep it flowing and growing. Component 5, the gratitude expansion. Finally, you expand your earning capacity through a specific gratitude practice that opens channels for even greater abundance. Let me break down each component in detail. Component 1, perfect right activity discovery. Florence believed that everyone has a unique gift that, when expressed properly, creates immense value for others and natural abundance for themselves. Your perfect right activity isn't necessarily your current job. It's the intersection of what you love, what you're naturally good at, and what people need. Here's Florence's exact process for discovering your perfect right activity. First, ask yourself, what would I do all day if money were no object? Write down everything that comes to mind, no matter how impractical it seems. Second, ask, what do people consistently come to me for help with? Notice the patterns in how others naturally seek your assistance. Third, ask, what activities make me lose track of time because I enjoy them so much? These flow states indicate alignment with your natural gifts. Fourth, ask, what problems do I see in the world that I feel passionate about solving? Your perfect right activity often emerges from your desire to fix something you see as broken. The intersection of these 4 answers reveals your perfect right activity, the foundation of your $10,000 earning formula. Component 2. Divine demand creation. Most people try to create demand through marketing, advertising, or networking. Florence taught a different approach, creating demand through spiritual magnetism. Here's her exact process. Every morning, spend 10 minutes in what Florence called divine demand meditation. Visualize people actively seeking exactly what you offer. See them saying, "I need someone who can your perfect right activity. Where can I find someone like that?" Throughout the day, affirm, "Divine intelligence brings me perfect customers who need exactly what I offer. They find me easily and joyfully pay for my service." Before sleep, give thanks as if the day brought multiple inquiries about your services. This builds the magnetic field that draws opportunity to you. Component 3. Fearless faith action. With your perfect right activity identified in demand building, you take inspired action, but not from desperation or fear. Florence taught that the consciousness behind your actions determines their effectiveness. Her process for fearless faith action: each morning ask, "What is mine to do today?" Listen for the answer through intuition rather than logic. Take only actions that feel expansive and exciting, even if they seem unconventional. Fear-based actions feel heavy and constrictive. Before taking any significant action, affirm, "Divine intelligence guides this action for perfect results. I move forward with complete faith in my good. Trust that wrong actions will redirect you toward right ones." Florence taught that failure is simply course correction from a loving universe. Now, Component 4. Sacred circulation. As money begins flowing from your perfect right activity, how you handle it determines whether it multiplies or stagnates. Florence taught specific circulation principles. Give away exactly 10% of everything you earn immediately upon receiving it. This keeps money flowing and demonstrates faith in your continued supply. Save exactly 10% of everything you earn in a separate account that you never touch. This builds your faith foundation, money that exists purely to prove your abundance consciousness. Use the remaining 80% for living expenses and business growth, but spend it joyfully rather than fearfully. Every expense should feel like sacred circulation of divine substance. Never hoard money from fear or spend it from desperation. Both attitudes block the natural flow that brings more. Component 5. Gratitude expansion. Finally, you expand your earning capacity through what Florence called multiplication gratitude, being grateful not just for what you have, but for the infinite source from which it comes. Each evening, write down exactly how much money you earned that day, even if it's 0. Then write, "I am grateful for this evidence of my unlimited earning capacity." Weekly, calculate your total earnings and affirm, "This is just the beginning. My earning capacity expands daily through divine law." Monthly, look at your earning progress and declare, "Divine intelligence multiplies my earning power according to my capacity to receive and circulate." This systematic gratitude creates an upward spiral of ever-increasing earning ability. Now let me give you a practical, step-by-step implementation guide for Florence's divine earning formula, specifically designed to help you earn your first $10,000. 1-2. Perfect right activity discovery. Your first 2 weeks are dedicated to identifying your perfect right activity with absolute clarity. Day 1-3. Complete the 4-question discovery process I outlined earlier. Write detailed answers and look for patterns. Friday, Day 4-7. Test your discoveries by offering your potential service to 3 people for free. Notice which activities energize you and which drain you. Day 8-14. Refine your perfect right activity into a clear, specific service you can offer. See how Florence emphasized that vague services attract vague results. By the end of week 2, you should be able to complete this sentence. My perfect right activity is helping specific type of people achieve specific result through specific method. Week 3-4, divine demand creation with your perfect right activity clarified. You'll spend 2 weeks building spiritual magnetism around it. Week 3, practice the divine demand meditation daily without taking any business actions. This builds the invisible foundation for visible results. Week 4, begin telling people about your perfect right activity, but from a place of excitement rather than need. Florence taught that enthusiasm is magnetic while desperation is repelling. Week 5-8, Fearless Faith Action. Now you begin taking practical actions, but guided by intuition and powered by faith rather than fear. Week 5, create whatever you need to offer your perfect right activity professionally: website, business cards, or simple service descriptions. Week 6, begin actively offering your service, but only to people you feel genuinely guided to approach. Quality of connection matters more than quantity of contacts. Week 7, refine your offering based on feedback and continue expanding your reach through faith-guided actions. 10. Week 8, establish regular patterns of service delivery that can scale as demand increases. Week 9-12, scaling and circulation. By week 9, you should be earning regular income from your perfect right activity. Now you focus on scaling and proper money handling. Week 9-10, implement the sacred circulation principles with every dollar you earn. This is crucial for continued growth. Week 11-12, focus on serving more people more effectively rather than working more hours. Florence taught that effectiveness multiplies income while more hours only add to it. Month 4 and beyond, expansion. Continue following all 5 components while allowing your earning capacity to expand naturally. Florence observed that most of her students reached their $10,000 goal between months 3-6 of consistent application. The key is consistency and faith. Follow the formula exactly. Maintain your spiritual practices and take inspired action daily. Let me share some powerful success stories from people who've used Florence's earning formula to reach their first $10,000 milestone. Case Study 1. Sarah, the struggling artist. Sarah was a talented artist who'd been trying unsuccessfully to earn money from her art for 3 years. She was working part-time jobs just to survive and had almost given up on her artistic dreams. Using Florence's formula, Sarah discovered her perfect right activity wasn't selling paintings. It was teaching other artists how to overcome creative blocks. She had naturally been helping fellow artists for years without realizing this was her divine service. Within week 3 of implementing the divine demand creation process, 3 artists independently contacted her asking for help. By week 6, she was conducting paid workshops. By month 4, she had earned $12,500 through her perfect right activity and had a waiting list of clients. Sarah's key insight: I stopped trying to sell what I wanted to make and started offering what people actually needed. The demand was already there. I just Case Study 2. Marcus, the corporate employee. Marcus had been stuck in the same corporate job for 6 years, making $45,000 annually, but unable to break through to higher earnings. He felt trapped and undervalued. Through Florence's discovery process, Marcus realized his perfect right activity was helping small businesses optimize their operations, something he'd been doing informally for friends and family. He began offering consulting services during evenings and weekends, following the Fearless Faith Action principles. Instead of competing with large consulting firms, he focused on serving small business owners who couldn't afford big firm prices but desperately needed expert help. Within 5 months, his consulting income reached $11,200, and he was able to transition from corporate employment to full-time consulting. His corporate experience became the foundation for his perfect right activity rather than a prison keeping him from it. Marcus's key insight. I thought I needed to abandon everything I knew to earn more money. Instead, I needed to use what I already knew in service of people who needed it. Case Study 3. Linda, the overwhelmed mom. Linda was a stay-at-home mother who needed to contribute financially to her family, but couldn't commit to traditional employment due to childcare responsibilities. Her perfect right activity discovery revealed that she had an exceptional gift for organizing homes and helping busy families create systems that reduced stress and chaos. She'd been doing this naturally for friends and family for years. Starting with just 3 hours per week, Linda began offering home organization services to other busy mothers. She followed the sacred circulation principles religiously, giving 10% of every payment to charity and saving 10% for her business growth. Within 7 months, she had earned $10,800 while working only 15 hours per week. Her clients referred others consistently because her service genuinely transformed their lives. Linda's key insight. I discovered that what came naturally to me was he began offering his services to local restaurants, retailers, and service providers. Following the divine demand creation principles, he visualized business owners actively seeking social media help and affirming that they would find him. Within 4 months, James had 8 regular clients, paying him monthly retainers totaling $10,400. He had created more income through his perfect right activity than most entry-level marketing positions offered. James's key insight. Instead of trying to fit into existing job categories, I created my own category by serving an underserved market with exactly what they needed. What's remarkable about all these cases is that none of these people had special advantages, advanced degrees, or startup capital. They simply applied Florence's formula consistently and allowed universal law to multiply their efforts. I want to hear your success story next. As you implement this formula, document your progress and share your results in the comments. Your journey will inspire others and strengthen your own earning consciousness. Now, let me share some advanced strategies Florence taught her most successful students, along with solutions to common challenges you might encounter. Advanced Strategy 1. The Invisible Partnership. Florence taught that every successful earning venture involves what she called an invisible partnership with divine intelligence. Most people try to figure everything out through human reasoning, but Florence's students learn to access guidance beyond their limited knowledge. Here's how to activate your invisible partnership. Before making any significant business decision, ask divine intelligence, what would serve the highest good of all concerned in this situation? Then listen for the answer through feelings, insights, or synchronicities rather than forcing logical conclusions. When facing challenges, affirm, my invisible partner has unlimited wisdom and resources. The perfect solution is already known and is now being revealed to me. Before important meetings or presentations, silently invite divine intelligence to work through you. I am a clear channel for the highest wisdom. The perfect words and actions flow through me now. Advanced Strategy 2. The frequency matching technique. Florence discovered that earning $10,000 requires matching the energy frequency of someone who already has $10,000. Most people vibrate at the frequency of their current financial situation, which keeps them stuck at that level. Practice this daily frequency elevation exercise. Each morning, spend 5 minutes acting exactly as you would if you already had $10,000 in the bank. How would you stand? How would you speak? What would your inner dialogue be? Embody this energy completely. Throughout the day, make decisions from $10,000 consciousness rather than your current financial situation. This doesn't mean spending money you don't have. It means choosing thoughts, attitudes, and actions that align with abundance rather than lack. Before sleep, give thanks for the $10,000 as if you already possess it. Thank you for my $10,000. I am so grateful for this financial milestone and for the service that created it. Advanced Strategy 3. The multiplication mindset. Instead of thinking about earning $10,000 once, Florence taught her students to think about creating systems that could generate $10,000 repeatedly. This shifts you from earning consciousness to wealth creation consciousness to wealth creation consciousness. Ask yourself, how can I serve people in a way that creates lasting value and ongoing income? Look for ways to solve problems permanently rather than temporarily. Design your perfect right activity so that each client's success story attracts more clients. Florence called this earning through reputation multiplication. Create systems and processes that allow you to serve more people without proportionally increasing your time investment. Common Challenge 1. I don't know what my perfect right activity is. If you're struggling to identify your perfect right activity, try this exercise Florence used with confused clients. Write down 10 problems you see in the world that genuinely bother you. Your perfect right activity often involves solving one of these problems. Ask 3 trusted friends, what do you see as my greatest natural gift? Their outside perspective often reveals abilities you take for granted. Notice what activities make you feel most alive and energized. Your perfect right activity should enhance your energy rather than drain it. Common Challenge 2. People won't pay for what I offer. This usually indicates a mismatch between what you want to offer and what people actually need. Research your potential clients thoroughly. What are their biggest pain points? What keeps them awake at night worrying? Adjust your offering to solve urgent, important problems rather than nice-to-have services. Start with a simple, affordable version of your service to build trust and testimonials before offering higher-priced programs. Common Challenge 3. I'm not earning enough fast enough. Impatience is the biggest block to reaching $10,000. Florence taught that spiritual law operates on divine timing, not human urgency. Focus on serving excellently rather than earning quickly. Excellence attracts abundance naturally. Celebrate small wins and incremental progress. Each dollar earned through your perfect right activity proves the system is working. Trust the process and maintain consistent action even when results seem slow. Florence observed that breakthrough often comes right after the moment people want to quit. Now let's address the most crucial element of earning your first $10,000. The complete transformation of your relationship with money and earning. Florence taught that most people have a fundamentally dysfunctional relationship with money. They see it as scarce, difficult to obtain, and requiring sacrifice to acquire. This dysfunctional relationship creates the very difficulties they fear. The old earning paradigm. What keeps you stuck? Money is scarce and hard to get. You must work hard and sacrifice to earn money. Earning requires taking money from others. You're not worthy of significant income. Financial success requires luck or special advantages. Florence's new earning paradigm. What sets you free? Money is infinite substance that flows freely when you're in alignment. Earning comes through serving others and creating value. Wealth expands when you help others prosper. You have a divine right to abundance through service. Success comes through spiritual law, working through emorare. Practical action to make this transformation complete. Florence prescribed a specific 30-day mindset renovation process. Days 110. Recognition phase. Each morning, identify and write down every limiting belief about money that arises in your thoughts. Don't judge these beliefs, simply observe them. Common limiting beliefs include: money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. I don't deserve wealth. There's not enough to go around. Earning money is hard work. Days 11-20. Replacement phase for each limiting belief you've identified. Create a corresponding truth statement based on Florence's teachings. Old. Money doesn't grow on trees. Right arrow new. Money flows from infinite divine supply. Old. Rich people are greedy. Right arrow new. Wealthy people can be generous and kind. Old. I don't deserve wealth. Right arrow new. I deserve abundance through ear. Service to others. Old. There's not enough to go around. Right arrow new. Divine supply is unlimited for all. Old. Earning money is hard work. Right arrow new. Money flows easily through my perfect right activity. Days 21-30. Integration phase. Now you live from these new truth statements, catching yourself whenever old patterns arise and immediately replacing them with your new truth. This isn't positive thinking. It's spiritual reprogramming based on universal law. The difference is crucial. Positive thinking tries to override negative beliefs, while spiritual reprogramming replaces false beliefs with true ones. The earning identity shift Florence taught that reaching $10,000 requires becoming someone who naturally earns $10,000, not through pretense, but through genuine transformation of how you see yourself in relation to money and service. Ask yourself, who would I need to become to naturally earn $10,000 through service to others? Characteristics of someone who earns $10,000 through service: they value their gifts and price them appropriately. They focus on creating value rather than competing for scraps. They trust divine intelligence to guide their earning activities. They circulate money joyfully rather than hoarding it. Fearfully, they see wealth as a tool for greater service rather than an end in itself. Begin embodying these characteristics immediately, regardless of your current income level. Florence taught that being precedes having. You must become the person who earns $10,000 before you can actually earn $10,000. We've covered Florence Scovel Shinn's complete formula for earning your first $10,000, from discovering your perfect right activity to transforming your earning identity. Now it's time for you to put this wisdom into action. Your earning journey begins right now, in this moment. Not when conditions are perfect, not when you feel ready, not when you have more time or resources. Universal law responds to decision and action, not preparation and planning. Here's your immediate action plan. Today, complete the perfect right activity discovery questions. Don't overthink. Trust your first instincts. This week, begin the divine demand creation meditation daily. Start building the invisible foundation for visible results. This month, take your first fearless faith actions toward offering your perfect right activity to others. Next 90 days, follow the complete implementation guide while maintaining daily spiritual practices. Remember Florence's most important teaching about earning. You're not trying to get money from people, you're trying to serve people so well that money flows to you naturally as a result. When you focus on service rather than selling, on creating value rather than extracting profit, on helping others prosper rather than competing with them, earning becomes a joyful expression of your divine gifts rather than a desperate struggle for survival. I want you to make a commitment right now. Type I commit to earning $10K in the comments below. This public declaration activates spiritual law and strengthens your resolve. Subscribe to this channel for ongoing support on your earning journey. Click the notification bell so you never miss new prosperity teachings that will support your continued growth. This guide provides daily, weekly, and monthly checkpoints to keep you on track toward your goal. Most importantly, come back and share your progress in the comments section. Celebrate small wins, share challenges you're overcoming, and inspire others with your journey toward financial freedom. Your first $10,000 isn't just about the money. It's about proving to yourself that you can create financial results through spiritual principle and practical action. It's about discovering your unique value and learning to exchange that value for abundance. Once you've earned your first $10,000 through Florence's formula, you'll have the template for earning $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, and beyond. You'll understand that wealth isn't limited by external circumstances, but created through internal alignment with universal law. Your perfect right activity is waiting to be discovered. People are waiting to be served by your unique gifts. Your first $10,000 is waiting to be earned through the loving service only you can provide. The journey begins now. Trust the process, serve excellently, and prepare to be amazed by what divine intelligence can accomplish through your willing hands and heart. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this wisdom. Together, we're creating a new paradigm of earning based on service, spiritual law, and the recognition that everyone has gifts worth sharing with the world. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to hearing your $10,000 success story very soon.